Well, hey there, and welcome to yet another one of my cheesy YouTube videos. On today's video, we're going to change the windshield out on my 2004 Honda Goldwing. So let's get started. First thing we need to do is take the rearview mirrors and shove them forward. This gives us access inside here to a bolt that takes a 10mm combination wrench to remove it. It's one on each side. Next, flip the levers up that release the windshield. Next, we want to take the plastic off the front. It is supposed to be held on by a couple of grommets. Need to work the rubber boot between the mirror and the fairing so we can pull it loose. Kind of pulled out on the fairing and off. The bottom pops into two rubber grommets in front. They sit in these two grommets right here. Got an 8mm down here. This is for this bracket. Tucked in side of here, inboard of the mirror, or 10mm nuts, one on each side. Go ahead and pull this bracket out. Got a couple Allen heads, Phillips, and two outboard Phillips. These Allen head bolts supposed to be 5mm. I'm using a 3/16, which is loose fit, but it did the job. So I'll have to work this screw out. It wants to strip, so I might take it inside my shop and put vice grips on it and get it loose. Other than that, the windshield's off. Okay, I went ahead and wiped everything down with lemon pledge. I looked at the little rubber strips in here. There's a long one across the top, and there are several short pieces that kind of works as the brakes to help hold the windshield in place. I need to put this bracket on right here on the windshield. This is the one I had to go into the shop to take apart. I'm working in kind of cramped quarters, so forgive me. Get this lined up. These bolts with the 5mm have a shoulder. Make sure my shoulder drops into that hole where it belongs. There we go. Give it a little wiggle and the shoulder dropped in there. So basically this Phillips just holds these two pieces of metal sandwiched together. This metal piece drops in this hole. Run that piece up. It's another shoulder bolt. This shoulder bolt uses a Phillips. And same for the other side. Make sure your shoulder drops into the slot. Once it's tight, it should actually be loose. See that? It's tightened up, but it's loose, so it'll slide back and forth. Same for the other side. Okay, I'm set the bracket on. This bracket is what clamps down and holds the windshield in place. Okay, I'm going to set this bracket down. It's got some rubber on the inside. This bracket's what squeezes the windshield into place. Flip your mirrors forward so you can get on the back side here and work with the piece that it drops into, like so. I want to put my nut in my socket and hold it in my socket and put it in place. Chances are the nut may want to fall off while doing that, so I'll lay some piece of paper towel over the socket, shove the nut in there. Now usually make it so I can hold it upside down or whatever and it won't come out. Don't forget to install the 8mm bolt that mounts at the bottom of the bracket. Putting this little piece of plastic on. Got a little teeny Phillips screw that goes in there. A few comments about the front of the fairing. I broke, there's two studs right here. I broke one off taking it apart. So my rubber grommets must be a little bit, well, they don't feel bad, but it snapped off. It didn't want to pull off as easy as everything you see on the internet. It has to be very gentle. This has got to be pulled this way. These studs on the corners, they got to be pulled up. And you got to pull the outside edges out to get these where the bolt's on. So it's got to drop down, and you got to pull this little ear that's inside here behind the mirror out far enough to clear where it's got to go. Mine being black, it's a little hard to tell because everything's black in there. This is the fairing. It rides on this little stub right here. You got this plastic grommet. That goes over it. And a large flat washer and a bolt. Should have done this when I took it apart, but shove a rag in there. To catch things when they fall out. Then you do the same thing with the other side. And there you have it, the windshield's installed. I think she's going to clean up. For a used windshield, she's going to look really good. I'm looking forward to getting my bike back on the road. I was headed from Texas to Wyoming last July, and I was in the process of polishing, trying to buff out scratches in my windshield when I hurt my back. And I have not touched this bike in 7 months. So now I've put another windshield on. I'm going to give it a new battery and clean her up a little bit. And as soon as my doctor says I can giddy up and go, I'm going to giddy up and go. Well, anyways, thank you for watching my video. Please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. And remember, if you love life and learning new things, go aimless.com.